Hello, this is future Hazel here again for the second guest episode in a row. We had some more technical difficulties. So we are thankfully using some backup audio that still has everybody present in the call, but it is also Discord call quality. So if it sounds worse than previous episodes, that's why. And things will be back to normal next time. So thank you. It's still perfectly listenable, but obviously it's not up to the quality that we usually put out. So thank you again for understanding. And on to the episode. Is this episode 6?
Yeah, I think it's episode 6.
I just think, you know what? I'm taking a fucking stand. I'm not gonna say what goddamn episode this is anymore.
You're done.
Figure it out. They can look at the fucking episode.
Yeah, they sure can.
Hello and welcome to. I almost said Pod Spirit, son of a bitch.
Damn it! You keep doing it.
I know. It's like a set phrase, you know. It's like hi.
Yeah, right.
Hello and welcome. I'm getting fucking griefed by my own wife. Hello and welcome to Human Insects. I'm Hazel.
And I'm Nicky.
And we're here with a very special guest.
Illustrious Luther Manhole.
Manhole.
I go by different names on different places, except for my real name. But I guess Griff is kind of also my real name. So I don't know, just call me whatever.
It's like, yeah, but
You've always just been Riff in my mind.
Yeah, you always have been Riff as well.
There you go.
But it's good to diversify the screen names, I feel like, you know.
Yeah, it's an underrated technique.
Well, yeah, when I started, I mean, because I don't go by Luther Manhole really, except for like quote unquote professionally, which is like an insane sentence. But I don't know. I didn't think that people were going to ever listen to our band at all. So, you know, I just took that from a Longmont Potion Castle thing. So it's like I never intended that to just be my online handle, which has been, you know, different, you know, which is not Luther Manhole. So
how many people keyed into that? Because I knew immediately. I was like, oh yeah, it's the Clown Motel guy.
I mean, definitely some people have. Like people have like mentioned it in like YouTube comments that I've seen and stuff. It's not like super common. I did see, we just played a show in Philly. Someone did have a battle jacket on, and the back patch was a huge LPC patch, which did rock. I was like, okay, I think our people are here. So
yeah. Oh God, yeah. So I guess just for context, you literally just got back from the airport like a minute ago.
Yeah. Like 20 minutes ago, I got home after our flight got I was going to get home yesterday, but our flight got canceled. So we had to stay an extra day. And then had to wake up at, like 4:45 this morning and then fly home. And now I'm home in Oklahoma City.
I've never like, I don't think I've known very many people who have ever flown for touring. What all is that even like?
This is the first time I've ever done it. We've always just driven, and even then, we're not a super tour heavy band. You know, we probably play 20 or less shows a year. So, and I mean, also the pandemic happened towards the beginning of us being a band. So, but I don't know. It was
you guys for sticking through that, because it killed one of my bands.
Yeah, it weirdly kind of like I think helped our band blow up. I think people just were bored inside and found us on like RYM or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's still kind of baffling to me that anyone listens at all because we did like no solicitation or anything. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, flying, it was, I'm not going to lie. It was way more stressful than driving. We had because we brought were guitar in a case, bass in a case. And then I had like my personal backpack filled with clothes, but then also all my pedals and my power supply. And then our bassist had like his clothes in his backpack and his pedals and stuff. And then our drummer brought a big like box for breakables that had like a snare and a couple stands in it and cymbals. that ended up being overweight and oversized, so it cost us like nearly $500 each way to get it.
Oh my god!
So, lesson learned: next time, don't bring that in that configuration because it cost us nearly like $1,000 to get a snare to New York, which is like
I want to tear my hair out. I fucking hate airports so much.
Rich people, so that is a lot, to spend on that.
Fuck.
So. Same with our flight getting canceled last night, but yeah, I don't know. It's still, I mean, it was great, and it felt very, just personally, it felt cool to be flown out to do that shit, it was, I hate flying. I'm actually terrified of flying. I would say it's probably top 3 biggest fears for me, period. I hate it. So the idea of flying over the ocean, I've never done it before, is just so terrifying.
Oh my god. So, my very first flight was 17 hours across the ocean back when I was indoctrinated in the Baptist church and had to go on a mission trip. Whole long thing.
Wow.
I learned a lot, and that was the thing that completely broke that era for me. It's a long story, but
there's a
my
really
first
good
flight was
Pod Spirit episode where we talk about that a little bit for any listeners.
yeah.
I don't remember which one it is, but it's one of them.
But it was a weird part of my life. But that meant that my first flight was 17 hours over the ocean to South Africa, and that was really weird because I'd never been to a plane before, and I was like, I might die. And there was some turbulence too, of course. So so I was like, I'm gonna die today. Cool.
Turbulence is definitely a big anxiety trigger for me. Luckily, the flights today, I had anxiety. It was very funny. So Ray Gunn, our vocalist, we sat next to each other on the flight, and we flew Delta. So we had I usually just fly Southwest, so I'm not used to having a fucking screen in the seat in front of me that I can just pick a movie on, but this had that, and so there was it had a great selection. Drive My Car was on there.
Wow.
Everything Everywhere was on there, and there's I actually almost watched
two very long movies. How long was the flight?
About 3 hours.
Okay, there you go. Long enough for both of those.
Because we laid over in Atlanta today too, so we had about 2 hours then. But so I watched Edge of Tomorrow on the
that
first
movie
way.
fucking rocks.
I've seen it 15 times actually, because it's something I just would put on occasionally. I don't know why I like it so much, because Tom Cruise is a terrible person, and it's not. I mean, it's pretty just I don't know, the script isn't that good, but there's just something about it that appeals to me.
Yeah, it just rocks. Yeah.
And I didn't want to think about anything too hard, so I was just like, fuck it, that's a movie I've seen a few times, so I should just put that on. And then on the second flight, Ray and I sat next to each other, and even though there's actual good movies on here, we both picked, we were like, let's sync up, and we both put the movie Yesterday on, because we had never seen it. The What If I Was the Beatles movie. 4 thumbs down from the big dogs. Not my movie. And I will forgive a lot. I'm not despite, I know some of the people in the Beatles were bad people, but I grew up on the Beatles and do love their music, so I will forgive I didn't hate Across the Universe, and that movie sucks. That's a terrible movie, and it's fine to me, because I mean, at least a couple of the songs are okay in it. And wow. Yesterday you're just watching bad covers of these songs, and the plot is so not Ed Sheeran is so heavily featured in it. It's so
oh my
weird.
god, I didn't even know Ed Sheeran was in that movie.
It's basically Ed Sheeran is the pinnacle of pop songwriting, as we all know. He's the best songwriter of our time. A modern John Lennon, if you would.
And then you go and you look at the writing credits for the movie, and he's got a co-writing credit.
It's a Danny Boyle movie, which is... I didn't even realize when the credits were, I was like, wait, Danny Boyle did this?
Fuck? How did that happen?
Oh my god. I remember watching movies in theaters around that time, and the trailer for that movie was blasted at me, and I was like, this looks like shit.
Yeah. I was so
from jump.
I'm just trying to stress, I'm primed and ready to like something like this. Like, I
Right.
couldn't make an easier sell than some like dumbass Beatles movie that sucks. Like, I could totally get into that if it was just like at least kind of fun. But no, it sucked, sadly. So it was fun sitting next to him, like truly unhinged, syncing up yesterday on the airplane. It's still like a 2-hour movie. I don't know. So yeah, I've got yesterday on the brain because I just finished watching it like an hour ago.
That's so funny. I'm so glad that we actually were still able to record today because that's so fucking funny. Yeah, so I guess right off the bat, just to kind of fit it in there, someone on Twitter, Jay Heinous Films, asked what have been the highlights of touring.
Jay Heinous Films.
Obviously not yesterday, but
yeah, of like in general ever, or like
I guess just this
one?
most recent tour, we'll say.
It was like it was all highlights, you know. It was a good one. I had a great time. Other than like the flight getting canceled, the shows went really well, and everyone was super nice. And we honestly, like I said, other than the flight thing yesterday, like really no hiccups to speak of. We played with Planning for Burial, who is also on the Flinzer, and Tom is just a great person. It was really great to play shows with him. And I don't know, we played with Couch Slut and Psychic Graveyard and Scarcity, and those are all amazing bands, and it was very cool to see them. And I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. It's weird. I don't want to talk about my day job really, but I do have a day job. We don't do this full time.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of like, it's like psychic whiplash of going between. I was standing in front of Jerry Seinfeld's apartment last night, not seeing him, like from the show. We walked there as tourists.
Right.
And now
I'm to ask, like, I didn't know you were playing a house show there.
No, we were over there, so like, fuck it, that's something stupid to go do. Yeah. And now I'm back in like the shitty part of Oklahoma where I live. Yeah. I have to work tomorrow and play another show tomorrow. So,
wow.
But I don't know.
Are you also going to another show literally tonight as well?
I'm supposed to go. I'm still debating. Our vocalist is screening a movie called Offerings locally. Sorry to those who are listening to this now. You missed your chance to go to Oklahoma City to watch a weird Halloween rip-off filmed in Oklahoma City called Offerings.
Is this the 1989 one?
I'm not sure what year it's from. I've never seen it. He's just told me about it.
I'm so curious.
And so yeah, he's screening that tonight. So I still might go do that tonight, but I don't know. I also am very tired, and he did give me the pass to not come. Because I was gonna go because we were gonna get home yesterday, but I don't know. I guess I didn't really. I guess for the most fun part is just getting to meet people and talk to people, and I am a person who does not take for granted that anyone cares at all about what I'm making, because I've primarily made stuff that no one has cared about my entire life. Because I'm in my 30s. I am not. Our bassist is almost 40. This is it. It seemed like no one was ever gonna care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just really like meeting people and playing with bands I like, and it's just crazy. It's super surreal and weird. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. That's I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there just kind of aren't really enough like narratives, I guess, like that out there these days. Like I feel like I can be kind of almost a little bit hostile about the idea of being somebody that people like sometimes, and I always feel like it's really refreshing to hear things like that. Kind of centers me in a sense.
I think it just depends on the type of punishers you have to.
Yeah, that is true.
To it, but it's just I don't know. I also just have like whatever gene it is that like I have to engage in small talk. Like, I just have to talk. I don't have the leave me alone thing, which this is probably a terrible thing to say into a microphone because now people are going to like punish me even more. But, like, I'm not saying I want it. I'm just saying that like I can't not indulge people. Like, it's really hard for me to not just say, yeah, sure, I'll talk with you for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I feel like pre-pandemic, I definitely had that. I don't know if I've still got that. I feel like the fucking coffee job I worked at for a while in an extremely weird and shitty and conservative part of Orange County kind of might have killed that gene in me for good. Just kind of forced me to go like, look, I'm sorry, we're in a rush right now. Fuck off. But who knows?
Yeah, I worked mall retail for years.
Oh, God.
I worked at Zoomies.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. When I was 20 years old. Yeah, I don't know. So I feel
Yeah, absolutely.
in Buffalo, New York, of places, which is weirdly a conservative part of New York.
Right? Yeah.
So.
Man, they got all them wings and they're still hateful.
Buffalo's a weird place. I do love it. I'm not gonna shit on Buffalo too hard, but it's not. It's like everywhere in this country that there's not every place is all good or all bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you originally from New York or?
My dad's from up there, and then
gotcha.
my mom's from Oklahoma. So
Gotcha.
I've split time. I wouldn't say equally. It has skewed more Oklahoma, just because now I've lived back in OKC for 10 years. But like after high school, I lived in Buffalo for a few years, and
right.
It's just far away. I love to go up there, but it's like it's one of those things when you have family in a city like that where it's like. It's hard to convince my partner for that to be our vacation, to like go to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because Buffalo is a great food city and I have friends there that I love, but it's, you want to go to more, it's not even just like Buffalo is bad or something. It's just like, you want to go to more than one place. You don't want to go to the same places every time. So it's just, and you only get so much time. I mean, again, I'm not a rich person, so I can't just travel all the time. I have to take unpaid days to go do the band stuff,
right.
Have my day job and all, it's so any time now that I haven't been on like a vacation without it being music related in a long time, so and those are working vacations. So I don't know. I kind of forgot what we were even.
But I extremely don't remember.
I gotta say, like, one of my fondest memories of this entire year so far has been like seeing Pitchfork tweet about the Grimace song and stuff. I was like, that was such a weird moment of just like, wow, they're tweeting about my friend's Grimace song, and it's just like this whole like that. Even like as a friend of yours and like just kind of just kind of anticipating the album, pretty much all year until it had come out. I really like. I mean, I didn't, let alone you guys, I'm sure, and stuff. Just that, like, was not expecting the the weird blow up and Pitchfork and everything, and just I don't know how far of a reach it had. I don't know. The record's incredible, but it's like weird. Yeah,
it is weird. I don't know. I think all of that has just been so fucking crazy. And it kind of ties into what I said earlier, just about it's not like I'm saying I'm like super old, but I'm 32, right. So like. It's stuff. I know that stuff like this burns bright and fast. You know what I mean? So I have no delusions that by like this time next year that anyone will even give a shit about my band. We already lost half of our monthly listeners on Spotify since the album came out. Because it ballooned up and now it goes back down. I mean, that's just. You can't just like dominate people's minds all the time. They heard, to me, it's my life, but to most people it's, oh, I heard this album I liked maybe. And now they live their life and don't just listen to Pile all the time. Like it's not, so
I just have such a hard time envisioning that there's like even like a career in music for more than like the extremely savvy at this point. So
it's weird. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, I do think that we're smart about how we do stuff. I mean, I'm not saying like,
definitely.
oh, we're some, we don't even know what we did, It's just, but I don't know. I think having like a consistent like visual aesthetic,
Yeah.
having something maybe slightly unique to say. I mean, I don't write the lyrics, but I think like some of our, the way the lyrics are done, I feel like it just like kind of slots itself into a way that kind of it's a weird kind of inaccessible type of music, but we're also like big Nirvana and Pixies fans that we kind of have to just be like, what if we could make a grunge song that's influenced by Gorguts? What would that sound like?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess people have kind of liked that. The Pitchfork stuff that was crazy. I mean, I still, who knows what's going to happen with the rest of the year if there's any like, year-end lists or anything like that. Yeah,
Right.
it's
That's
fucking,
like the whole thing.
it's I don't know. It's great. I struggle to think of the words to even use, because it's just
yeah. I don't blame you whatsoever, and so like
Yeah.
it's I would feel extremely weird so talking about it too. So
because it's more just like because it's not even like it's not we're not a household name or anything. I'm sure like a lot of people that are listening to this are gonna have no idea who the fuck my band is or anything,
Yeah.
But
I mean, like I've been surprised at how many times the name Chat Palace popped up recently,
yeah,
Yeah.
it is a little weird.
Yeah.
because like I met you when I think the only release you had out was that first EP.
Yeah, it would have been towards the end because we put out the second EP in November 19. And did we all meet on? Or I know y'all have known each other for a while, but I met both of y'all on Action Button, right?
Yeah, right. I think so. Yeah.
So that would have been around like
Oh, you know what? Yeah, my bad. It was your second EP. It was
it's just it was 3 years.
Yeah,
we put both of it just took 3 years for like the album to come out, basically.
Yeah,
to be written and released, or produced and released. But yeah, wait, where were we going with
that? Oh my god. See, I also don't remember.
Yeah,
it's all good though.
Yeah.
Oh well, I think I was just saying that like
places, yeah.
I think like I was kind of watching it kind of like I think I had first heard about you guys like after there had been kind of a spike, but then there was kind of that like gradual rise up until the full length came out. And I think that was kind of from where I was standing where the floodgates kind of opened up for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I guess someone must have shown someone at Pitchfork, I guess, because Shelburne he did the review, and it's not really in his wheelhouse usually. I guess I guess he normally reviews like electronic music and stuff. So, but yeah, just seeing that. I mean, then a couple other places just posted different things, and places that have large readership or anything like that. If they post about it, then it kind of becomes we're kind of a memeable band too, with the Grimace stuff, and we kind of lean into it a little bit. But I think also if people listen to that song, it's obvious that it's not like a funny song really at all. It's actually the darkest song we've ever made, and I don't know, it's like I think it's like
I mean that was also true with the because I know before that the kind of like big meme was joking about Arby's, and like I know what that song's about, and it's
yeah, I mean that's basically a song about like gun violence and about basically how it's such a bleak prospect to even think of a solution to it that you might as well just like get your body turned into a fucking piece of fast food meat to just be served to people, I don't know. It's very, it's mixing some weird ideas there, but it is very much, it's not like a haha Arby's song. It's kind of just using that as like weird imagery to be like, everything is extremely fucking messed up, basically.
Yeah. And it's like you take the actual like writing in the and then like Ray Gun's like performances too, and then it just kind of becomes very quotable and stuff. So I guess there's that, and then
I can't really imagine being in that position. I mean, obviously, I think you guys are handling it like extremely well. I've definitely seen instances where, obviously, understandably, I've seen people kind of react kind of badly to the kind of like memification of their music, which again, like I don't know how I would react if I was in that position. I think I would probably be kind of pissed off about it, at least at first.
It's more like, so the whole Grimace thing started, that was our bio on Bandcamp when we first started the band. So like that was just a joke. We had drawn a little sketched image of Grimace with like a big joint, and we laughed at it. And again, we started the band just to like hang out and play music, because Sten, our bassist, and I, we hadn't played in bands in a few years, and like we just were like, screw it, let's just do that. So I mean, a lot of this stuff, it's just us kind of being how we are, which is we like to joke around. I mean, if anyone talks to me online, I like to maybe joke around about stuff, maybe too much sometimes, but I don't know. Yeah. It's just like so that was just an inside joke. It didn't really mean anything. Just, Grimace smoking weed.jpg was funny to us. So that was just our bio, because who cares? No one's ever going to listen to our band. And now Pitchfork is forced to write about it. They have to print those words, which, wow. Okay. Still very weird to me, but okay. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's, it just depends. There definitely is a line between like memeing and being made fun of too. But I mean, it's all part of it, You just kind of gotta, if we're gonna be the guys who are pretty like weed forward, or like, talk about fast food and stuff. It's just the part of the country that we grew up in. I mean, the reality is I've probably eaten more meals that are fast food than any other type of meal in my life. Like, if I think about
it's definitely
out
true.
Right now, it's probably the first time I've actually intellectualized that, which is making me feel very weird. But now I think about it, I probably have eaten more fast food than anything, just because I grew up in a lower income house in Oklahoma, So like,
right.
I don't know. It's something that's on our mind, and it's very much, I feel like, part of our aesthetic, just that like kind of strip mall next to an oil derrick, next to like dead grass, next to tornado damage,
That's, that kind of like I think I've jokingly called that like neo-American Gothic in the past.
I like that.
Yeah, I kind of find myself being almost kind of like, because now that I'm living in like a nice metropolitan walkable place, every now and again I get that kind of like that twinge of like, oh, I miss like shitty strip malls. And then I kind of have to go like, no, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having some whiplash right now just between, I mean, like I said, yesterday, I mean, I know till a lot of people, so many people live in New York, and it is not novel at all to ride the subway. I live in a place with essentially zero public transit in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, same here.
It's a bus line that is terrible, and there's a streetcar that runs in like the downtown area that will take you from like the sports arena to the $200 steakhouse to Toby Keith's restaurant. So if you want to go to those places, you got the streetcar. But and
it runs like every 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
just as expensive as a Metro card in New York City. So it's like actually free. So and so the whiplash of like yesterday being in New York and like being on the fucking train and then coming back home, it's like it's like a double-edged thing with that, because on one hand it's like we chose to live here, we're not moving away at this point that we're in our lives. It just we don't need to, and it's like I want to stay here, but then being in other places, it is like, man, it would be nice to be able to take a train, to not own a car anymore. I would love that. If I just didn't have to own one.
The weird inverse of that recently, where I was in Southern California a month or so ago visiting some family, and they were also visiting Southern California. It was my Northern California family, which is why they were staying at a hotel. So when we got there, we were staying with some friends. Just let us use their couch. And we were sitting there and we were like, all right, let's figure out where their hotel is. And we looked and we were like, oh, it's a 6-minute drive. We'll just walk there. It'll be like 15 minutes.
No.
And we switched Google Maps to the walking route, and it was like a fucking hour and 15 minutes. It was insane.
Because you also have to walk on streets that are not designed for walking, so you have to go out of the
You're
way
gonna have to
because
go in the fucking gutter, like
or take weird roundabout ways because like, oh, maybe the street doesn't even have a sidewalk, because that's how it is here. There's lots of places, like a lot of the main roads here, I think people call them like throads or something. That's like there's like a word for it. Stroads. Stroads, that's it. Yeah. I mean, that's what we have here. I mean, especially in like the lower income parts of towns, there's just like nowhere to walk, you know?
Yeah. It's so hostile. Like it just genuinely hostile.
Yeah.
It really bums me out. And so, cause like, and that's kind of like one of the things that I connect to the most about just like Chat Pile's whole thing or whatever, really just is just, you know, living in like Eastern Tennessee, and I'm like, I wouldn't say it's like a completely similar situation. I'm actually like, I don't know, like my city's like kind of
it's trees.
Like, we have trees. So we have trees. My city's like almost like trying to like outgrow itself. People keep moving here from like out west and stuff, and like retiring here and shit, and like it's like pricing stuff out.
Oh shit!
Everything. So like,
you're getting like what, like Boise is kind of happening, where like a lot of people in California. Right before I moved to SoCal, like a lot of like
it's the fastest growing city, right?
Yeah. Like a lot of my my mom's friends were like, you know, Michelle, you gotta fucking move out to Boise. Like it's, you know, it's all these things. It's so cheap right now. Like nobody knows how much it's gonna be worth. Blah blah blah. I was like, the fact that these like fucking like random white women are already fucking talking about this and know about this means that the fucking gold rush is over, you know?
Right. It's like, but yeah, like we don't have enough public schools to like to like get everyone and stuff. So like, so like there's like 2 city schools and 2 public schools, and it's like not nearly enough for all the people that are here and stuff. So like you'll get like classrooms that are just like absolutely filled with kids and stuff. Like it's really dire in some kind of interesting ways or whatever. But like, you know, I'm kind of in that mode where I'm just like, man, I fucking hate I hate America. I hate the promise, you know, like I hate all these things or whatever. So I think Chat Pile like really connects to me, even though like I'm from a pretty different part of the US than OKC and everything. Like it's pretty it still stays pretty universal, I think. And that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, even like, I'm sure if you live in New York, if you like, I know we're not a very New York band. That's not really our thing, you know. But,
right.
But I just feel like even if you're just like someone who is irritated by capitalism, or more, and you know what I mean, or just like someone who, I don't know, I feel like at least everyone has some experience with some sort of like looking at an ugly man-made thing next to something, you know, naturally beautiful, you know what I mean? I just feel like that is, you know, that's part of our thing as well. Just like, I feel like we are an urban band despite being from Oklahoma, if that makes sense. We're not a country like dusty band. We're a strip mall band.
If you ever find yourself looking around and asking why, then
we've got a song for you. No, genuinely, that is something I really, really appreciate about your guys' music, is that like, you know, I find that where leftist thought is concerned, I think there was a phase for a while, and I think it's slowly kind of dovetailing outward, where it was very based in theory. It was very like academic and very theoretical, very like, here are all of these things that here's why they are the way they are, and here are the things that we could be doing to solve them. And I feel like what gets lost is the very sort of human element of living day to day under where we are now. And I think that kind of reinforcing that, like, it is something that we're kind of all like actively struggling through, is kind of reaffirming, and kind of important to keep in mind.
Everyone in our society is a victim of this stuff. Everyone.
Yeah.
It's not just, you know what I mean? That's why everyone should be upset about it. Just
exactly.
Other people look at an unhoused person and they other them and they go, well, that's not me. But they just, everything affects everything. You know what I mean? And it's like, you should be mad. You're the victim of that too. You know, like it's and I do think with the song like Why or whatever, obviously I don't write any lyrics and we've give very, very little input into lyric content for Ray. Like that is that's pretty solely him. But I know for that song he was just like, I don't know, he was just like, with other songs, we mentioned Rainbow Meat earlier. I think this is a good segue where people, haha, funny Arby's song, and they kind of maybe miss the kind of like weird gun or just like the anti-violence thing with it. He was just like, you know what? I want to write a song that there is no question what I'm saying at all, and there's not really more that needs to be said other than when he's like, we have the resources, we have the meat. I mean, you don't really have to say much more than we can fix it. It literally is possible. So I don't know. I know some people were not as some people were kind of not into it and just thought it was like too simple or whatever, or kind of made fun of the song, but I don't know. I love it.
Yeah,
and
I love it too.
I mean, I think it is. It feels in some regards almost like a kind of like presently like almost like a definitive artistic statement. Obviously not to like pigeonhole the band. Obviously there's a lot more going on, but as far as just like, I think that what makes that song so powerful is the fact that, there's literally no other way to look at it. And like, if you're getting mad about it being simple, get mad about how simple it is as a problem before you get mad at it for being simple, like
songwriting
in terms of
right.
subject matter.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm not going to try. I mean,
no, I get you. I'm sure it's exhausting to kind of like feel like it's something that's so like that's been so combated as is. I'm sure you're tired of engaging with it.
The way I try to look at it is that like anyone that knows me at all, which I know a lot of people don't know me as a person, they just like either have heard my band or have never heard my band, but like both of you have talked to me online, and I'm an online person. I like to talk on Discord and talk on on Twitter or whatever, and like or on Rate Your Music especially. I have shit talked good albums before. You know what I mean?
I
love to talk about music, so I've said lots of shit is bad. I've been kind of mean about it. So like, I don't know if someone's gonna be mean. Like, I don't want people to be mean to me. Obviously, I'd like everyone to like my band, maybe. But I guess it's just what I'm saying is like, if people are gonna like it, I just can't cry too hard about it, if they don't. I've also said that like, Radiohead sucks or whatever, and like, so whatever.
I totally get that.
It's a part of it. No one is universal, nothing is universal. So like with that, at least with like art and stuff, like not everyone's gonna like everything. So.
That actually kind of tangentially does remind me, I don't think I've ever brought this up directly to you, but I feel like you posting, or not posting, but like rating or whatever, my EP from last year on Rate Your Music caused it to kind of explode on there.
Really? Not that many people follow me on RYM.
Really? Okay, maybe not, so. Because I noticed this weird chain reaction of you posted it, and then suddenly I went from like 30 ratings on there to like fucking like 200, like in just a couple weweeks. I felt like I may be looking into it wrong.
Been touched by, right?
Yeah.
I really liked it, so
thank you.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can take any credit for it. I don't think I'm that much of a. I don't know.
It's such a mysterious thing that I was kind of grasping at straws. Like, what even could have caused it? Yeah. I was very flattered because that was like right. I think it was even before I started making videos again. So it's not like there was like a sudden kickback from there, which is kind of what I see now.
I don't even think I saw. I think I found it independently though. I think I saw it on Bandcamp.
Right.
I think I found it just like because like it might have been me searching
I
like
feel like
noise pop or something, because that's
Right.
kind of like that's a tag I will look up, or power
Yeah,
pop is something
that's
I really like
possible.
power pop. So
Yeah.
and I think it might have been like a Small World thing, kind of.
Yeah, I can't remember because I feel like I might have seen Golok tag you directly,
Maybe
but
it
I
could
don't
have
know
been
if that
that
was
too,
like,
'cause
hey,
he
I know you
does show me a
posted
ton of
about this
stuff.
before. Yeah, could
Yeah,
have been either
so
way.
but yeah, I mean, I remember posting on a couple of places, just being like, "Hey, this is good."
I still
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
narrative that I have one of the guys from Chat Pile to thank, just because the music we're
We can
putting out is
just
so fucking polar opposite.
we can just completely like lock that in now. That's the official
Yeah, that's the
canon.
official. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
look too
yeah.
close at it. That's the
Yeah,
Up,
don't
narrative.
pay attention that I have like 100 people that follow me on RYM. It's not like anyone cares, but
update the RYM bio and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
put that
Yeah.
on there.
Lead
Uh,
songwriter Luther Manhole,
oh my god,
yeah.
is there
creative
any
director.
is there any weird like out of pocket shit on fucking the because like
But yeah,
other
every guest we've had
yeah.
on.
Yeah, every guest we've had on, they'll be like, "There's something very wrong on our rate your music profile or something." Where like I think Adam from Adam
Yeah, we talked about
from
Injustice
Mean
for
Freeze.
Malls.
Yeah. He had like they had an album on there that they don't even intend to make. That was just a joke title that they like had as an anticipated release and stuff. And like I think like the guy from Noun said that they like made up their entire bio and it's like a mile long or whatever. But like so now I'm looking at chat bio and I'm like, is there anything here that just looks off? This is stupid.
let's see. Like, I haven't really Noise for Change era benefit compilation. I don't remember what this is. Oh, yeah. We put a demo of Brutal Truth on a comp. That's real. I'm like seeing if there's anything like fake on
Right.
this at all, but I have mostly everything pretty
yeah.
accurate, I guess.
Yeah, it looks pretty normal to me. It doesn't look like there's anything
It's more like
weird.
when people, it's kind of more like people not understanding what lyrics mean. It's more like comment section
Yeah.
stuff, like in the shoutbox or whatever.
Oh
Like
man,
that's
yeah.
more
the
where
shout-outs.
egregious stuff happens, or where like, or just in general, people don't get
Yeah.
that like Pamela's like a Friday the 13th song or something like that. Or,
Yeah, that's so funny because like so
song's
you
called
mentioned that.
Pamela. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to watch the first one to get that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's like Poison the Well calling their song Crystal Lake, like like it's a
Yeah,
if
right.
you-
Wait, so
yeah.
did people think it was about something real?
Yeah, I'd say most of like the bigger reviews we got, like the Pitchfork review, completely said it was about something completely else. Basically, I mean, it wasn't like,
Word.
I mean, death of the author. So if you
Sure, yeah.
felt like that's what it was, I mean, it kind of also is. You know what I
Sure,
mean? But
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it is funny how a lot of places did not pick up that it was a Friday the 13th thing at all.
That's funny. That's a popular movie. That's,
Well, yeah, it's like I feel like my whole life, like, I've only ever seen heavy music and horror movie fans like being like a Venn diagram that's almost a
Yes.
circle.
I do think we also weirdly, a lot of our fans have been skewing
right.
younger too.
Right.
Like a lot of people have been getting into us for, like, I don't know. I feel like just I don't want to say heavy music because for a lot of people we're not a metal band,
Right,
Like,
yeah.
we're not on Metal Archives or whatever. We don't count. So like we literally don't have a listing on that, which like every metal band does, I guess. So, but I think we just like there's just a lot of like kids getting into hardcore right now, and we're
That
not a
makes
hardcore band, but I just think we appeal to
Yeah,
hardcore kids. So
there's some hardcore proclivities, I would say, for sure. Like
yeah,
there's
I mean, I listen to a ton of hardcore. So
Yeah,
it's in
yeah.
there a little bit, but we're not
Yeah.
like a
yeah,
hardcore band.
Like,
I'm definitely trying to two-step at a show to fucking to fucking tropical beaches one day. It's
Yeah.
gonna happen. I'm just
I feel like this depending on who you are, this might either sound like a there are a lot of ways to take what I'm about to say, but like
Okay.
I feel like how a few years ago, like when all of like the movie press like suddenly started buzzing about Hereditary, and it was this big crossover
Okay,
hit
yeah,
where it was like this horror movie appeals outside of its genre.
I mean,
Like I kind of feel like
Yeah.
Go ahead. Good.
I kind of feel like that's the vibe I've gotten from Chat Pile, where like a lot of the like you said, like the person from Pitchfork who wrote about it usually writes about EDM. Like I feel like it's this not to say that it's like an accessible version of it or anything, but that it's like this kind of like
it is.
critical
So you can
darling
say
that has made its way over to people who normally don't listen to that kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see how some people could, because like that is like there's a type of person that's like hates Hereditary because it's like people are trying to ruin horror by making it elevated horror or whatever, because there's a other group of people that are like, horror sucks and only stuff like Hereditary is good. So like I can see where the frustration comes. I love Hereditary.
Hereditary
is one of my favorite
so
movies of the
good.
decade, and I also love movies like Brain Damage and Street Trash. You're allowed
same here.
Yeah.
So I gladly will accept that as a some sort of loose comparison, because I don't know, but I could see what you mean though, that like it definitely. I mean, I said it earlier. I think kind of like us having the grunge, alt rock, having the mixing the weird stuff with like, we like Nirvana or Alice in Chains or even stuff like Blink 182 or Bjork, or just I want to mix pop structure sometimes with the weirder stuff without it just being like a diet version,
Yeah.
I think it just makes it memorable. I mean, it has to be memorable, I guess, if that makes sense. Like a lot of that weight is on our vocalist shoulders. But I don't know. I don't know. I do like that comparison a little bit though, and I could see how it would bother some people because it has some crossover for sure. People that don't typically listen to this stuff.
It's one of those unfortunate things where I think what people who hate on Hereditary and what people who really like Hereditary are both missing out on is that their reaction to it is based in the same emotion, which is really caring about horror movies,
Yeah.
So
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, we haven't had too much like Chat Pile or fucking fake, I mean, because I think it's pretty obvious that like we're just like some people that don't have we're not being like funneled money by some benefactor or parents to like enable this, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's but we have. I did see a couple people on Twitter, right when the album came out, and I was like actually doing a lot of name searching. Definitely a few people being like, "It just doesn't make sense. They have to be plants. They just have to be plants."
What? Yeah.
It unbelievable. Doesn't make any sense why this many people would be talking about them right now. It's like, I mean, okay.
Okay. The Flenser planted. The Flenser planted a bunch of mid-30-year-olds in Oklahoma City.
I'm looking for my check then, because man, I could really use the fucking money right now. If I'm a plant. So.
Man, that's so fucking silly and stuff. Like, and look, fucking Nightcore Jones approves. So why can't everybody?
That's the most coveted sign you can get is Nightcore.
I heard that he was in the crowd at one of your shows.
Yeah, he might have been at one or two of those.
Anything more than that, but
yeah.
I told him that it was a missed opportunity for him to not record the entire set like on his phone and then Nightcore it and upload it.
As the first live Nightcore.
Yeah. Like as a way to prove
that is brilliant.
He was in the audience, and honestly,
that is actually brilliant.
Yeah, I was genuinely kind of upset that thought didn't cross his mind.
Honestly, I think that first New York show that they may or may not have been at was recorded at the board, maybe. So, or at least was recorded with the camera. But I think it was like the sound was recorded from the soundboard. So there may be some audio of that at some point that can be listenable by people that Nightcore Jones could then turn into Nightcore.
Oh man. The Nightcore Jones episode might still be one of my favorite things we've ever done.
The revelation when he told me, like, yeah, I don't listen to most of them before I upload them. Funny.
That's so believable to me. I
yeah.
100%. Honestly, I never even considered that Nightcore Jones has listened to a single second of any of this.
I'm saying, like, you gotta listen to make sure it's good. It's more like I gotta listen to make sure that that I like how it sounds sped up and pitched up.
I think it's purely utilitarian for Nightcore Jones. I think they must make Nightcore, not that they want to. I think it's
it's a duty.
It's a duty. Yeah,
bound to produce Nightcore.
Oh my god.
Let me drop in another question that we got about the band really quickly. This is probably the most like standard interview question thing, but I didn't know about it. Now I'm curious. Tech Cactus asks, I've read the chat pile formed out of a bad movie night meetup. What are some of your favorite bad movies? I'm curious what movies it was in the first place, but also I don't know anything about any of this, so...
Oh yeah, so it originally started because my cousin, who is a little older than me, she was gonna throw a board game night at her house, and so I went over there, and one of her friends is Stin, our bassist, because they're a little bit older than me. Like I said, they're like 8 years older than me-ish, 9 years, and I'd like seen him around at parties at her place, but I wasn't really in that friend group. It was more just like my older cousin who is cool, who she's shown me a ton of like stuff that really informed what I got into musically when I was younger. Because I don't have like an older sibling or anything, so she was a person that showed me stuff. Jawbreaker is her favorite band. They're my favorite band.
Oh, hell yeah.
That type of thing. But yeah, so we went over there, and then him and I just like really hit it off. We're like, oh, we should have been friends like this whole time. Like, and that board game night quickly just started being over at his house. And then eventually we just kind of got tired playing games, and all of us, like it expanded to where like, Reagan, our vocalist, and other friends of ours would come over, and we would just like basically every week it would be someone's pick, so the names are in the hat of the people who haven't picked yet, and then they get drawn, and you get any movie you want to force people to watch. They have to watch, and it's you're not going to show something great. I mean, it could be something fun like Broken Arrow, like the helicopter movie, or like trying to think of another one that was like actually fun, because we did go through what I would call the punishment era, which was where it was just true unwatchable garbage after unwatchable garbage with nothing even to make fun of. Like this movie Tale of Two Sisters, which is based on poetry by what's his name from 2.5 Men and
oh my god, Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. It's based on the poetry, and he narrates it, and the way that it is audio mixed, it sounds like they had a mic 100 feet away from the conversations. It's nearly fully improvised.
Holy shit.
Truly, I mean, it's about as unwatchable as something gets, I would say. Like, so punishing.
I've clicked on the Letterbox page. I scroll down. I see Riff's profile picture. Half a star.
Yeah, no, that one was just that was too much.
Wait. Trauma produced this?
I don't know. I guess maybe
How the fuck
they
is this real?
I would say produced is maybe a strong word.
Well,
there's not much production happening in this thing. It was I don't know what role they would have played. That one is a really, I would say, notably terrible. I still think, and I've talked to you about this before, Nicky, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I still think, and out of all these movies I've watched that are just truly like no joy to be had, not so bad they're good, just SLC Punk 2. The sequel to SLC Punk with Machine Gun Kelly, and the main character is supposed to be Heroin Bob's son, who is a Victorian goth. That's his thing. That's like his archetype. Yeah. He's like says "milady" and stuff. And Machine Gun Kelly plays like a cool street punk. They got Devon Sawa to be in the movie again by giving him Subway gift cards. It's I nothing I can say about it though. It's just like, well, convey how just like miserable it is to watch. It's just one that you just have to watch, and then literally within 5 minutes you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is gonna be unbearable, isn't it? Like, I have to watch this kid say like "milady" the whole time, and watch Machine Gun Kelly like be himself, and then like the weirdest thing about it is it's the same exact guy who made SLC Punk, same writer, director.
God
it's
damn
a
it. That's always
Kickstarter
so
thing,
sad.
and it is. I can't believe it. It's unbelievably bad.
Machine Gun Kelly is the only part that's like regrettable about Jackass Forever, that he's like in there for more than like 2 seconds. It is fine. It's fine. It's just I roll my eyes for a second. I'm like,
Does he get blasted
here he
in the
is.
nuts?
No, he gets
knocked into a pool.
Yeah, he gets smacked with a giant cartoon hand into a pool, like from an exercise bike.
Oh, that's nothing.
Because he can't beat Steve-O in a race.
I will say
it
sucks. It sucks to see him, but also, you know, if I have to see him, at least he is getting like punched in the face with a giant cartoon fist into something. But
right.
Yeah, I don't know. It was there was plenty though. Cat in the Hat comes to mind as well.
Oh my god, what fucking sicko made you guys watch that?
I can't even remember who chose that one. Maybe my friend Lucas.
I saw that movie in the theaters.
Fernet Broncho on Twitter. But yeah, I don't know. That's rough.
I got compared to like the version of the cat from the Cat in the Hat with like the glasses and the sweater like a few too many times, and now it like really truly like punishes me to look at that movie. I'm like, oh man, it's fucking. I don't know, but
I don't even know which one.
There's like a bit where he's in like a sweater with glasses, and he's like doing a cooking show or something, and someone like screen capped it and then sent it to me and said Nicky, and I was like, no, don't do that.
That's an act of violence, honestly.
The last one I'll bring up of just worst movies I've ever seen, Kevin and Perry Go Large. If you've ever,
I've never heard of that.
I can't remember the show that it's based on, but it's basically like a British SNL equivalent. And how they would have like a spin-off, like from a sketch turned into a movie, you know, how that would happen with SNL movies. So I guess there was like Kevin and Perry is like it was like a sketch thing. Unwatchable. It's basically about two like middle-aged people pretending to be kids, like getting boners and trying to be like EDM DJs and going to Ibiza or whatever.
I didn't know that they made a biopic about James Murphy.
But it's unwatchable. Really gross. Just a really gross one. There's like this huge, like, if I remember correctly, like zit and boil popping scene.
Oh, cool.
Lots of like.
You literally didn't even need to like. You hear that and you just know this is a movie from literally the year 2000, no more, no less. Couldn't be anything else.
It is unbelievably 2000 as well. It's the Letterboxd average rating is shockingly high at a 2.7 in my opinion. It should be around a 0.5.
Oh my god, I'm trying to think of like similarly punishing movies. I feel like I really go out of my way. What'd you say?
It's got to be Bud's House, right?
Oh no, Bud's House is not punishing. Bud's House is fucking astoundingly great.
I've still never seen Bud's House. I've refused to participate. I will not indulge Bud's Houseification of this country.
You probably would hate it. I will just say, like, you probably would not find a single there's something weirdly infectious about it and stuff. It's like certain it's like I don't know, it really is bad, but like there's like there are peaks though that like that just absolutely kill me, just to like gesture at them and stuff, like in conversation, like not even like to even directly reference it, but just to gesture with like the I'm up in here man, and like the ending of that movie is also just like the dumbest thing ever, but it's also preceded by like 5 minutes of extremely racist shit at like every other at like as many races as possible. Like it just keeps piling up. It's kind of impressive, honestly. It's like, wow, they just keep going with this. But yeah,
that's kind of like The Pest. Like, you see the intro to The Pest,
right?
And you're like, whoa, this movie is gonna be so bad. Like, because that song is awful, but it's like it's super memeable. And then you just like watch the movie. It's like, oh no, it's just like racist the whole time.
It's racist.
It's just racist. And actually, you're better off just watching the theme song video that's like a minute long and just not watching The Pest, because it's not fun. It's honestly just sucks.
But
Shout out to John Leguizamo.
But yeah, I do not endorse Bud's House. I've never recommended it, but I do kind of love it. Like I just there's things about it that I think are just like, oh my god.
It's like putting your tongue on a battery on like a novel.
Yeah. You gotta do it once.
Hazel, oh, I think both of you have this on. Okay, no, it's on your wish list. So you haven't seen it. Fucking, I saw Battle Heater. This is an awesome movie, by the way.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Battle Heater is fucking awesome. It is like practical effects slapstick, and I watched it like a few weeks ago. It's great. It's about a kotatsu heater that turns into like a monster and eats everybody. And it's like pretty much entirely set in this one like really shitty rundown apartment like building and stuff. And it's just like there's like 3 different plot lines going on, and there's like a punk band trying to just like play they're playing their instruments like as loud as humanly possible. And then like 3 doors down, there's like
like Driller Killer.
A little bit, yeah. And then like 3 doors down, there's like there's like a couple that have freshly murdered somebody, and they're trying to like dissolve his body and stuff. Like it's just truly unhinged shit, and it just like blasts you for like 80 minutes. And
that sounds great.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Battle Heater is the movie that I always get confused with Wild Zero, the fucking Guitar Wolf movie.
Oh, I
can never keep those two straight in my head.
I've just had Battle Hero on my wish list for a long time.
Yeah.
That was very much a cool poster. I'll add it.
Right. Yeah. The opening title drop is like awe-inspiring. Like I was like, wow. like it's just it's like a dude getting crushed with a giant boulder that says Battle Heater on it, and it's like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, this is the movie for me. And then I was in. But yeah, I don't know.
I can talk about movies. I can talk about movies like all the time. That is a topic that I like to talk about. Because I'll talk about music too, or video games. But I'm down to talk about movies specifically, or horror movies.
Like what's the word? Like, so that the people listening can get a general feel from your taste. What are some of your favorites?
All right, I'll say. Do you want me just to list my just full letterboxed right now? Just you can have 4 movies in your letterboxed. Mine are Point Break, Wet Hot American Summer, Southland Tales, and Mandy.
That rules. Yeah,
that's rules. Great.
Wet Hot American Summer is so fucking good.
It's probably the best comedy movie, and for me at least. I don't know. I think it holds up great.
Foundational movie.
But yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of different stuff. John Waters stuff is pretty big for me.
Yeah.
Michael Mann. I am a Michael Maniac, I would say. The Wachowskis. John Carpenter. I should have said him first. He's my favorite director of all time. Nice. I would say. So big Carpenter fan.
He's the guy who got me into horror, so I'm kind of forever indebted to him.
Yeah, Harmony Korine, big for me. Let's see. Trying to think of anyone else. Weirdly, if I had to pick like a favorite actor, it's more just like if I think about the actor who's in the most amount of movies that I would call a 5-star movie, it would be Arnold Schwarzenegger, I would say.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. That's
Just
so
because
good.
Commando and both Terminators and Total Recall and Conan, what am I forgetting? I would say are all perfect.
Yeah.
Predator as well. Predator's like the ultimate mashup of horror and action, I feel like. It's so good at both.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah. Commando is the shit. Like Commando is like it's so cool. I saw it in like the perfect way to watch it, I feel like, where it was like or the first time I saw it, it was like I was a teenager and like my parents still had cable and it was like 3 p.m. and like it was just on Stars or something and I was like, I'll watch this. And it was just like extremely dope the entire time.
John Matrix is his name.
John Matrix.
Yeah, John Matrix. It's 90 minutes exactly, which is the perfect length for a movie.
Yes.
But no, Commando, it's so great. I mean, just the end, the unlimited, it has like that full on, just like unlimited ammo. It's just, I don't know, it's just very satisfying the entire movie from start to finish. I don't know. I love Commando. I think it's about as perfect as an action movie can get, probably, at least for that like mold of just like action. For at least for American movies, I should say. That's,
for sure. What have you been watching lately? Like what's been what have been some recent ones that have been sick? other than yesterday
and we're rewatching Edge of Tomorrow. I haven't watched a lot of stuff since we've been busy lately. Since record came, basically since July, I haven't been watching a lot of movies. But I mean, mainly it's just been stuff that's been coming out, like new stuff. So I went and saw 3,000 Years of Longing, which I loved.
I thought that movie looked cool. I hadn't seen it yet though.
I loved it. I mean, it's George Miller, Idris Elba, Tilda Swinton. I mean, pretty much going to be a slam dunk for me. Prey was great this year in terms of modern horror, I thought. The Predator spinoff, kind of.
It's been like a weird year for that kind of thing. Like there's like Prey and Hellraiser just came out, and then there's also that third Halloween. Like I've heard like almost no good things about those like last 2 Halloween movies. So
I thought was cute.
They have their defenders. I didn't like 18, so I actually haven't kept up.
I heard Kills was horrid though. Like people really did not fuck with that one. So that was interesting. But
I liked seeing Toby Huss in the first one. Shout outs to Toby Huss for *Halt and Catch Fire* and Pete and Pete and *King of the Hill* and stuff. He's a good actor.
*Halt and Catch Fire* is so good.
Incredible show.
I love that show.
Big recommendation to everyone listening if you haven't watched that show.
It's super overlooked AMC show.
Nope, from this year. I mean, loved it.
We did a whole like spoiler section at the end of the last episode of this podcast because I had just gotten around to seeing it. I absolutely adored it. I had like a very powerful emotional reaction to it. Where I
love it. It's my favorite movie of the year.
I had like tears streaming down because I was just so happy with it. I was like, oh, what a good movie. It was very good. Made me believe in magic at the movies.
Me the second Sonic movie. The fact that Nope still comes out on top should say something.
It's my favorite of his. He is someone that like, because I liked Get Out, and I know Us was super divisive. I'm actually on the side of I really like Us. I thought it was good. I totally get why people didn't like it. I'm also like doing my own kind of death of the author on that one because I think there's some stuff about that movie that just like doesn't work, but it actually feels to me like it's on purpose. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just like attributing too much like to Jordan Peele, like making me think that he thought, that far ahead on it. But there's just some things about it. I'm like, dude, he's a professional comedy writer, director. He's a great writer. Like, I just can't imagine some of these like flat jokes being on purpose, or not being on purpose. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. I know you really don't like this movie, but I felt similarly on Malignant, where I was like, I feel like so much of that shit has to be I think they're fucking around that whole movie.
I guess the difference to me is that I feel like James Wan is like making fun of it or something. I don't know.
I kind of get you, like that. There's like a sort of condescension, like sort of attached or something.
Not just trying to be that person, I guess, but I don't know. The movie just starts with a woman getting her head bashed in, and it doesn't earn it, and I don't know. It sucked. I don't get why people liked it. I'm not going to get too mad about it, but it's just
nah.
I went with a large group of people to see that, and it was very split on like a few people. My partner loved, they loved it, and then hated Malignant. One of my least favorite movies I've seen in recent memory, I would say.
I'm not interested in fighting over it, but I was just like, it was funny hearing you to say that, and I was like, I kind of, I'm thinking of a different movie, but it's but yeah, I don't know. Or I don't know if he's doing another, like he's like, there's a movie that sort of looks loosely associated with James Wan that has like that weird doll or whatever, and like it's like dancing. There's like a trailer that just came out.
It looks sick. Honestly, I'm gonna go see.
That looks good.
That's the thing. Wan, he knows what he's doing.
He's good. Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I mean, he's good enough, is what I'm saying. It's not that I'm not like a huge fan, but like the first song's the best one, and then like Insidious isn't bad. The Conjuring isn't like terrible. Like he I don't know. He knows how to make horror stuff. So that's why, I don't know. Malignant just felt, it was very much not my thing.
I feel
still better than X, which, wow, that, I hated X. That
I haven't seen that one. I've heard of
people loved it too. Like, I've had people tell me I'm insane. I'm like, I can't even believe someone would like that movie, personally.
I will say I have kept in my mind that probably my favorite Letterboxd review of yours, of mine, is your review of X. It's 3 Z's and that's it.
Yeah, it's a lazy one. Very clever, right?
Oh no, I was like, here we are. That's all I need.
Yeah, it's movie also feels weirdly racist. I'm also a spoiler baby, so I'm not going to spoil a movie even if I don't like it for people if you want to go see X. Especially, I don't know, they just put out Pearl. I haven't seen it yet because that feels like the biggest piece of fool's gold I've ever seen. Because people are like, actually, this one's like a lot better, And I'm like, no fucking way, man. No way are you tricking me into this shit. I know I'm going to watch Pearl and it's going to suck shit. Like, there's no way that it's good. Like,
oh man, yeah.
I don't know. There's this weird stuff about X that feels like honestly super racist and weird.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. The kills are terrible in it. And like if you're gonna try and do like an elevated slasher, like that's when to tie it back into a Hereditary when people are like the A24ification of horror. That's what X is, not Hereditary. It's X. That is like it's completely missing the point of what horror is. Like, I don't know. I hated it. So.
Yeah, there's kind of a reason I don't really watch a lot of modern horror movies at this point. I just kind of feel like I just have this weird like kind of like default stance of like, I don't really know about all this. Like I kind of feel like this is like out of my depth a little bit, kind of like where horror is at and like the kind of discourse therein. But I am seeing that you vlogged The Burning Moon, and that movie fucking shreds.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, that's a real hard to recommend to people.
Yeah,
I'm also not really a splatter guy. Like, I like a gory movie, don't get me wrong, but I mean, fair warning, if anyone out there, it's hard for me to think of a movie that's rougher than that. Like maybe August Underground, which if you're out there, don't watch August Underground. Or watch it. I don't know. It's super fucked up. So, I mean, don't... I'm just saying, like... I
mean, I generally operate with the assumption that people are going to, like, kind of, like, know what they're getting into a little bit before going into things blind.
content warning for every single possible thing imaginable on basically these type of movies. But
yeah.
No, Burning Moon rocks. It's crazy. That's one that I watched with that same group of friends. We go on like a cabin trip every year for just like 2 nights. And it was like pouring rain the first night, so we just stayed in and watched movies.
Shit.
And watching that with like 10 people, and it's like slight spoilers, but there's a scene where they're in hell.
That is the craziest,
it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like,
what's important to contextualize about this movie is that like the first half of it, because it's a 2-part anthology with like kind of a loose framing device between it, it's all very grounded up until that point. Like the first one is just kind of like basically a slasher. That has like a very,
with sexual violence in it too. It's really upsetting. I would say
but it's also very like grounded at the end of the day. And then the second part is this weird, like I want to say it's like a period piece or something. And then out of fucking nowhere, they're in hell, and it is the most fucking cracked depiction of hell that I think any piece of media I've ever seen. Like fuck Chainsaw Man, get out of here.
Fuck Berserk, fuck like any of these other,
fuck all that shit.
Crazy. And it's like, since it's like shot maybe on like a VHS camera, it's a German movie, like everything about it is just so like it was unbelievable. We were like legit hooting and hollering while watching. I was watching like it, but it is so over the top violent that like I mean, I can't give enough content warnings if you don't like blood and gore and stuff like that, or getting through the first half of the movie, which does have some pretty rough content in it too. Like, you know,
I'm totally watching the fuck out of that movie.
Oh, it's so good. The last time I saw it was on YouTube. Is all I have to say.
Oh, that's cool.
My friend has it on DVD. There was, I don't know if it was Vinegar Syndrome. Someone released a print of it or something that my buddy got a hold of. But yeah, that is definitely that's funny you bring that one up, because that is a movie that a lot of people have seen, and it is insane as a horror movie.
Yeah, because I don't know that I know anybody else who has seen it. Although weirdly, it's beside the point. But yeah, no, I don't know very many people who've seen it, and it's one of those movies that just kind of like sits at the back of my brain at all times. I know this will sound like absolutely insane, but there's something really like kind of charming and sweet to me about that movie. Like, I haven't seen the behind the scenes. There's like a whole making of documentary, but like, you know, for being so low budget and like being so predominantly made by just the one guy, you can really tell that there was like a lot of love put into it, and that like a lot of the people who were involved in it like really seemed to believe in what it was.
It has like a childlike logic to it as well. Framing devices. It's kind of like this guy who's like I don't know. He's kind of basically just like a loser, I guess, is like come home and is telling his sister like some bedtime stories, but they're like scary stories to, you know. Yeah. I was about to say something, but I think that I was actually going to spoil something at the end. But something also happens that is fucked ridiculous with it. But yeah, it does. Yeah, I can tell that though. It's not like, I don't know. It's different to me than when if you ever saw like the movie Irreversible, which also has like upsetting sexual violence in it, like that. I hate that movie. I hate shit like that.
I don't. You know, it's really funny. I don't remember there being sexual violence in The Burning Moon. I don't doubt it.
I thought that's what I thought, like, because because the whole first thing's about that, like, kind of like stalker killer.
Yeah,
I thought there was like some of that in there.
You know, maybe there might be. I think it's kind of more like the threat of it. But again, do your research before you watch this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a sensitive thing for you.
I mean, it isn't as blatant, if I remember, as something like Irreversible, which is about as blatant as something like that gets.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But like. So I guess what I disagree in that, like, or that it is, you know, it seems like he wasn't coming from it from an evil place.
Right.
Even if it's an evil ass movie, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seemed like he wanted to make something fucking scary, you know, and not like, I'm making like, I'm going to show you 10 minutes of uncut, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
There's a reason.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I think he was like, I want to make a fucked up movie.
Yeah. It's like
to horrify people.
It's like the fucking film equivalent of like the fucking Thunderdome compilations. Like it's the Thunderdome 4 of movies.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, great time.
I'm glad we're talking about some real deep cut movies.
Yeah.
This is the type of stuff I like to talk about. Because I'll talk about Nope, but I mean, I feel everyone's talking about Nope.
Right.
Yeah.
Tale of Two Sisters by Charlie Sheen and The Burning Moon.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say about Burning Moon, there's a live chicken on screen and they don't kill it.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
They don't go full Jodorowsky.
Yeah, full fucking guinea pig. Get out of here. No need for that. You can be the scariest movie ever made, goriest movie ever made. You don't need to cut a chicken's head off. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. That is a positive, for real.
Yeah.
I have a complicated relationship with Jodorowsky. I would say he's one of my favorite directors, and he's also obviously a bad guy, and his stuff has terrible stuff in it. And the thing, with him is you can never tell if what is a lie and what is him trying to be shocking to get people to watch his movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Because then I think a movie like Santa Sangre is like a beautiful movie, also about like that's like interestingly anti-colonial and has interesting things to say about like gender and love and things. And then you have movies like El Topo, where I don't need to say what's in El Topo. I'm sure people know.
I think it's one of those frustrating things where like the more Jodorowsky kind of like delves into those really sort of like annoying fucking like psychoanalytical like fucking like leanings, and this is just true of filmmakers in general, like the more kind of like caustic a reaction I find I have to it, where it's like I get like theoretically like what his idea was with putting some of the shit in El Topo in that movie, but it's also like it's just fucking corny, dude.
Yeah, and there's parts of El Topo that like I truly love. And it's definitely just because it is art, but then it's also just like I guess and the same thing with A Holy Mountain, which like. It is, barely a movie, but and they also, the scene towards the beginning, there are some lizards that get blown up in it that, they actually did kill those lizards and stuff and frogs, which sucks. But, I think Santa Sangre is his masterpiece, though, for sure. If anyone has to watch one of those, I think it's amazing. Just read the Incal with him and Mobius.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say my only exposure to Jodorowsky actually is the Incal.
I have the hardcover of it.
Yeah, same here.
It's really good. The art is incredible.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's like I don't know, it just owns. Like I loved reading it and being like, I have no idea what's happening, but like I just love looking at this, and then and then I'll figure it out one day. I'll just come back and just read it again and be like, oh, okay. but no, yeah, that's like one of my favorite comics I own, for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah, movies. I mean, it is kind of spooky season right now. It's nice. It kind of thematically, we're getting close to Halloween. I don't know how. I'm making
I think
it right now.
No, it's coming out a week from today.
Okay, a little after Halloween.
Oh, damn it.
It'll
close.
It'll be just a little bit after. Yeah.
God damn it.
But whenever I was like pulling guests, I was like, oh, let me send a Riff a DM. It'd be funny to get Chat Pile like to talk about Chat Pile around Halloween, because I kind of because Chat Pile has such like an association with like horror media and things like that. So that was so I kind of planned a pretty deliberate pull. So I'm glad that we're making good on that. Yeah. But I don't know, just super dope. I was very glad. I was like, okay, I bet we're going to talk about horror movies and stuff, but I didn't watch like too many recently and stuff, so I feel bad. I'm pulling off of the fucking 2 Shocktober's I did in a row where I watched like 40 movies in a month both times.
Yeah. The only actual horror movie I think I've watched this month, like because I just have been busy specifically this month, is also we just done a lot, and it was like my birthday this month, and I don't know, this is very busy. We watched Near Dark, which is an incredible movie that everyone should watch. The Catherine Bigelow vampire movie. I've
not seen that one yet, but I think it's been on my list for a while.
87, so it's pre-Point Break. and Bill Paxton is so fucking good in it as this like rock and roll vampire guy. It's definitely very like late 80s, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It rocks. But gotta be up there for best vampire movie ever made, I would say.
Yeah.
I've not seen it actually. I've seen a good smattering of vampire movies out there, but not that one.
It's good. Yeah, Near Dark.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You're doing the thing that I should do on podcasts more, where you say the name of the thing after you're done talking about it too. You're fucking natural with this. I never do that. I have to fucking keep a running list of everything that we talk about, which I forgot to do this episode, but it doesn't matter because you're actually being a fucking professional. This is great.
Yeah.
I watched Noroi the Curse last week.
Fuck yeah, that's one of the best
I haven't seen that one.
Shit!
It's like a Japanese horror film from 2005. It's kind of shot on a bunch of digital video because it's like
the first word.
Noroi, Noroi. I'm linking up the Letterboxd page for it.
Yeah, it's like a mockumentary where it's like this guy that like kind of investigates a bunch of weird, strange happenings and stuff. He starts to pick up a lead on like this weird lady that lives in this like house in this neighborhood, and it's like this total like rundown house and everything, and like he kind of just starts to slowly unravel this like curse that has been kind of like reawakened and stuff, and it's just a really, really well put together movie where like it gives you just tons of little pieces to try to like think about and like figure out throughout the movie. It's not really focused on jump scares like at all. It's actually like kind of not really a horror movie until like towards the very end, where it's like basically just like fake investigative journalism. I would say that like stuff, like for most of it.
This might be a little bit of like this might not be a universal experience, but if you ever got scared looking at YouTube videos as a kid that were titled shit like 12 subliminal messages you never noticed and whatever, like if that scared you, like genuine fear, if that kind of thing freaked you out, I think Noroi is absolutely a horror film of the utmost variety. Like there was a real sense of like oh god, like where is this gonna go, like there's a sense of dread associated in that movie, and I don't mean that in like the fucking like, oh, it's not really a horror movie, it's more of a whatever kind of way. But
no, yeah, it's just like it's like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of found footage stuff, especially stuff that came out way after this movie, was like focusing on like jump scares and like kind of cheap tactics and stuff. Like this movie does not go for like cheap stuff like really at all and stuff. At like I don't know, like there's like a couple like the most like chintzy sort of effects in it or whatever are kind of more of just like, oh, it's like early digital video and we're still trying to figure out what scary looks like when it comes to like something being like kind of something fucking with the footage.
And guess like, what the answer is? Kind of all of it. TV is such fertile ground for horror. It's great.
I'll
definitely add this because it's not on my radar at all, and it has a Branson Reese cosign. So
I fucking love that guy.
I usually
best guy on Letterboxd.
Best Letterboxd user, hands down. I typically don't give a shit about what anyone says about movies other than like 4 people I know IRL.
Yeah.
And if Branson likes something, I can tell it's probably something I will dig.
Shout
outs to Mad God, one of the fucking craziest movies this year.
Oh man, I still haven't seen it. I really need to.
I talked a little bit about it in a video, but man, that movie was a real like. I feel like I felt more hope about the future of art while watching that movie and Nope than like anything in media the past decade prior.
It's awesome. It's like it's such an achievement. I mean, it is gross as fuck. I cannot stress enough. Again, like it's not even like a violence thing. It really is just like so much like piss and shit. And stuff. Like, it's gross.
Poo poo movie.
Yeah, it is. But it also is just you're just like looking like it, or looking at it. Discord user Dice Game, who I know appeared on Podspirit.
We gotta have him back on.
Their review was roguelike body horror, Sephiroth, Pizza, Dark Souls, Brian Jones, 2001, Blood Ritual, Rube Goldberg Machine.
Fucking perfect review. It's so good.
Mine was Haunted PC Game, CD-ROM, Demo Disc, Compilation, Hell Diaper.
But this is the second time we've read these reviews out on the show because we love the both of them so much.
Did you guys actually read this on the show?
Yeah.
It wasn't this show. It was on my Patreon for my nerd podcast.
Oh, right. Movies. Yeah. Okay, so then it's perfect.
But
we did this separately too. I did not see his review, and he did not see mine. We both independently just stream of consciousness. Oh no, the stream of consciousness. Both of us just completely. Yeah.
Wow, that's so good.
Okay, so on the subject of Mad God, the thing that it reminded me of most was fucking. Do you know who Jimmy Screamer Claus is?
I do not.
I have no fucking clue if this will be a hit or a miss for you. His movies are like irreprehensible beyond repair. Like we were talking about how like there's some movies that just come with every content warning. It's like that times 10 with this guy. But he makes these like extremely fucked up looking like fucking like Xbox 360 live arcade fucking indie game looking movies.
That will immediately appeal to me.
Yeah.
All that type of like 90s CD-ROM, like, or any of that type of specifically, it was like computer animation. It wasn't really console games. It was just like I just remember playing stuff at like an older cousin's house and just like having some weird comp that just had like a bunch of ridiculous. Some stuff wasn't even games. It would just be like some animated thing that is also on the disc that you can just watch. That's 8 minutes long.
It
had that feel to it. Only also it's like in hell and covered in like diarrhea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like here's just like a general example of what his shit looks like these days. Really weird guy. I can't get a read on him as a person. I don't want to, but I'm a big fan of how deeply iconoclastic his work is.
What does that remind me of? That reminds me of this Less Sick Puppy EP. Do you know them? They're like
I didn't.
Let me see. If you just like Google image any of this, I'm gonna find what the EP is titled, because there's like one that has like a cover that reminds me of that. This is good. This is good. Podcasting, right?
Good.
We've been nonstop this whole time. Everyone can fucking do
if you just look at their art and stuff, or like even pictures and stuff, for some reason it's like
absolutely, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Goat meal. That's a good name for a single.
I think it looks like it has human face skin as the art.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Did we get any extra questions?
I can dip into the regular old well. But the only other one that we got on Twitter was Marsh wanted me to just let you know that he loves Chatpile.
Marsh is a guy that does videos on Shin Megami Tensei games, but not the Persona ones, like the really fucked up weird ones or whatever. And he's a listener of the show or whatever. So
cool.
Some video game.
I don't know if he listens, but in either sense, he spiritually
friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show. Yeah.
Friend of the show.
He continues to prove himself to have extremely cool taste.
Yeah. I guess
the like real recognizes real moment that I had with Marsh was when he posted a Seisha album and said that it was one of the most formative for him.
Oh right, yeah. He was posting Seisha. I guess I don't know, kind of winding it down and stuff. I want to mention real fast because we have a shared, or I think, or you inadvertently got me like interested in like watching basketball and stuff.
Oh, okay,
Again,
let's go. I
like,
love where this is going now. You're
Hell
just
yeah.
because like it was during the playoffs. I was like because this year like I've been kind of touch and go like with some of the real big servers and stuff. So I was like kind of lurking, and I noticed like you and like some other guys in there like talking about like the playoffs at the moment and stuff. And I think Brian was talking about like the Memphis Grizzlies and shit. And then like and everyone was having like a ton of fun with it and stuff. And you were saying this is a really good time to get into basketball.
If you live in Tennessee, so hell yeah.
So I followed your advice and I started watching the playoffs like right then. And then I was like, oh shit, and like I'm hooked, and I've watched like 3 Grizzlies games already from this new season. Yeah,
absolutely. I love to hear it. I love the NBA. I'm a big Thunder fan. I don't know how hard we have to go on NBA talk, how much our listeners want to hear about sports stuff, but
fuck the listeners.
But yeah, I was really hyped up because we got number 2 and we got Chet Holmgren, and he looks like he could maybe be like a generational talent, and now he has a Lise Frank fracture in his foot, and he's gonna be out the whole season, and I'm gonna jump off a bridge. It's already been a couple of years of tanking, and I know I'm crying even though my team was immediately good when we became a team, and so I haven't known pain. But also I grew up a Buffalo Bills fan. I know we're good right now, but it was many years of being bad, so I know what it's like to like a bad team. But I'm just disappointed because I was really looking forward to like, okay, actually it's gonna be worth watching this year, because my team, I want us to lose so we can get better draft picks. I want us to tank. So it's hard, and I hate watching my team lose, so I don't want to watch because it makes me so mad. Everyone that knows me, who watches this basketball with me, doesn't understand why I watch it, because it seems to only bring me pain and suffering. I seem to only be mad, and if we're up 20, I'm just like, we're just gonna blow it and lose in the 4th anyways. Like I just like can't. So I can't even celebrate. So yeah, if anyone out there also wants that experience, just be a lifelong sports fan of teams that let you down.
It's been like weird and stuff, because I feel like I've always like been sort of more interested in basketball than any of the other big sports, just because like it's it's more it's the coolest one you can dunk at. Like
there's not really much more to say. You can't dunk in any of the other ones, so why would you even fucking watch them?
Exactly. But football is like the name of the game here. Yeah, so like everybody only cares about football. So like I ended up having to sit through a lot of high school football games like every now and again and stuff, and like I
was on the drum line, so I'm right there. I had to go to all of them in school.
Right. Yeah, and college football though, like it's really funny because like the volunteers have been like people have been like lamenting the volunteers for such a long time, because like like we won, like we had like an amazing season in like 96 and like people just always talk
in the
about
era
96.
Which all the good teams were bad.
Yeah, and so, but now all of a sudden, like this year, like they're doing incredible, and so it's like a really weird thing. Like there's something in the air and stuff where it's like people are just like happier, and therefore like just a little bit more annoying now than usual, like around Knoxville and stuff, because like everybody is just so fucking like stoked about Tennessee football. It's I don't know, it's just really funny, but
yeah, I was an OU fan, like Oklahoma. That's my mom went there, and it's just that is such a part. College football is such a part of Oklahoma and Texas. Like, it's inseparable. Even everyone that I know, for the most part, that's even into art around here, it just has like, if you ask them, they're like, okay, I mean, I guess I'm a Cowboys fan, or I guess I'm a Sooners fan, because like you just like, I mean, it's so forced on you. Like some people truly revolt against it. My partner. They do not like football or Sooners football. or any of that type of stuff, which I get.
yeah.
I mean, football is also just like, I don't know. Sports in general are weird, but I feel like football's kind of like just like ethically weird in general, like in terms of having teenagers like potentially have traumatic brain injuries, you know?
Right?
Like,
Yeah. The football is pretty tough. Like to kind of square, I think, in your mind that to kind of just be like, yeah, this is cool. This is like
I can't imagine being not into sports and then in 2022 being like, you know what, I'm gonna get into football. That is a thing that I'm gonna now be into. I just can't imagine that. Like, I feel like you have to have had like an uncle just scream about like the Detroit Lions when you're like 3 years old in order to, you know what I mean? In order to like have some of that in your heart.
Yeah, and even still, like even after like my whole life, it's been like always around me or whatever. Like I still look at a football game and I'm like, this is incomprehensible. I don't know what's going on. Like I don't. What's a down? You know, like things like that. But then I watch basketball and I'm like, I get this. I understand what's happening. You know, like I think I had to like wrap my head around like the reason, like the idea of like. Or just the game within a game of fouls, and like
with like the NBA,
and just trying to like get people to foul, like and
drawing them and all that type of stuff. Yep.
Right. Yeah. And there's that big thing that happened the other day with like John Morant like rolling that ball or whatever and like tricking that guy into fouling himself out of the game, and then they just like they won. And
you can do stuff like that.
It's great. Yeah. I mean, it's a very like, oh no, I feel like I don't know. Like I feel like there's an element to that kind of like appeals to the part of my brain that likes to see someone get owned online. You know, like or just get trolled on.
No, that's why like, dunking is so cool. That's why basketball's the best, because there's something disrespectful about basketball that like the other sports don't have. Like really in football, I guess you can like, you know, you can tackle someone really hard or something, but then you're like, I don't know. Yeah. Something about jumping up in the air and like slamming a ball through the hoop onto someone and like
and the sound
throwing them down. It's just like it's just inherently disrespectful.
And it's
something
amazing.
And sometimes it's great to watch someone get owned. I don't know. Even if it's not sports, it's just something I feel like kind of primal about that it appeals to people's brains, that sometimes it's just satisfying to see like you know, they're fine, you know, they're fine. It's not like the person's actually, you know, sometimes you get hurt because it's an actual pro sport, but but you know what I mean, like for the most part it's I think it's just fun. I don't like baseball. That's the one that is not my thing.
Baseball's also
boring.
Not me.
I can tie the weird sports chat pile tie-in I can make is just that it was weird the other night. So we played in Philly. This will kind of time date this as well, but so we were there on Sunday night, which was the game that they just played to go to the World Series. So like everyone at the venue were hanging out at the venue, and like all the people that are working there and stuff, I just kept seeing people like checking their phones and like looking at the score, because like they wanted to see what was going to happen in the city, because if anyone knows anything about Philly sports, I mean, they're ridiculous. Like,
like go out onto the streets, fucking
greasing the light poles so people don't climb them and stuff, and the street lights and stuff. And so luckily, as soon as we saw that the Phillies won and we're going to the World Series, all of us were like, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good night. And guess what? It was a good night. People were very in the mood to party on Sunday in Philly. So it was like a really good show. But that was just like, I felt like the fate of our performance relied on the fucking Phillies going to the World Series, which was a weird moment. I had multiple people reach out to me. They're like, oh shit, I forgot you guys are in Philadelphia tonight. That's gonna be crazy. It's a whole culture. It's huge, widespread. Like I don't know, it's just nuts. I'm not the first person to say this, but like, I mean, there's plenty of reasons to not be into sports. I think it's fine to not be into sports, but it really, if you're someone that's into RPGs and like games, D&D tabletop, like there's so much of that in sports if you want to do that isn't just like the bro-y side of it,
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it's also, the fucking capitalism worship shit. You are watching millionaires play children's sports, which I get is also off-putting, maybe morally for some
games,
people.
You're probably also into like watching fighting games, and how different is that really?
Yeah, I mean, that's why fighting games are the best to watch. In my opinion, it's the easiest. Even if you don't really know what's going on in basketball, you can kind of tell when one team's doing well or bad or good or you know what I mean. And in fighting games, it's the same way. Like, you don't really need to know how to play Street Fighter to see who's getting their ass kicked.
Yeah, there's a health bar,
and so, but especially just on the stats side with like baseball or hockey, basketball, like you can
oh my god, yeah,
go so far into that down the well, and it's just like I just don't. I mean, now it is like more and more people that I know that are into like arty stuff or gaming or typically people that wouldn't be into sports are like seeing the appeal of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because then there's like I don't play fantasy, but like fantasies and like you're literally just turning it into a game that you're playing with people at that point. Like getting points for other people doing well in games and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. Yeah. It's just kind of cool, like all the different layers of it and everything. And I've really enjoyed myself watching basketball. I do recognize that like. At the moment, I'm in like a honeymoon phase because the Grizzlies are like really good.
They're good. You have like the top 5 player in the league, probably.
Yeah,
or will be at one point. I'm probably overrating him a little bit there, but I mean, Ja Morant is amazing. So
oh yeah, I mean he's really young and he has like a whole career ahead of him. So it's gonna be just truly insane to see where he goes. But yeah, it's like
yeah, it reminds me of Westbrook, who was like our guy in Oklahoma City. I feel like he has the like explosiveness to him that's just so cool. Those are the type of people I like to watch. Like as much as like shooting's cool, and I understand why people like Steph Curry a lot, just because like shooting threes is sick. Like I want to see someone go up and like try and shatter the backboard. Like that's why I watch it. So Ja seems like someone who one day is going to pull a backboard off of the he's gonna pull it down on the ground. It's
gonna be sick. Yeah, but so I'm feeling good right now and everything. But it'll be funny to see like what happens whenever they have like a bad season or something. And like I don't think I'm gonna just like drop it immediately, but it'll be funny to just be like, oh, damn, I gotta deal with this, or God forbid, like like really high profile player trades or whatever and stuff.
Eventually you'll get into it. You'll start being like me and like listening to podcasts, and then you're just gonna know. You'll be like, okay, well the mid-level exception is when you use this with, the tax exception that you create through this trade. You'll just like know what all this shit is. It's, and then you'll just be like, why has this happened to me? Why do I know what this is? Why do I care about the cap floor and how people have to spend a certain amount of money to even like per season? It's so stupid.
Oh yeah, I don't know. This is
this is Sports Corner now.
Yeah, Sports
I'm loving
Corner.
it. I don't have to fucking. It's like I'm taking my 15-minute break.
I know. Yeah, Hazel smoking a cigarette outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As a peek beyond the curtain, before we started recording, Hazel made an anime reference, and I was like, I don't know a ton of anime. It's just so if a reference falls on deaf ears, you know why. And I love that I said that, and now I'm straight up just talking about sports. I'm just like going full jock mode right now.
I had this in my pocket the whole time.
I'm prepared for my swirly later.
I was surprised. Yeah, you did not tell me that we were gonna. I was fully prepared to talk about how like Hyper Demon rocks and like which it does.
Right. Yeah,
Everyone
but like but ever since like I somehow like our paths hadn't crossed enough.
This?
Oh, Hyper Demon? Yeah, it's
oh my god, Hazel.
It's by the Devil Daggers dudes and the Devil Daggers those guys.
What that is.
I would say
it's like a boomer shooter. No,
kind of. I would say just buy Hyper Demon and play it.
Cool. I'm building a new computer like literally as soon as my next video is done, so I'll have something to knock the Knock the dust. No, there's no dust. What is the idiom I'm looking for? Put it through its paces? It doesn't fucking matter.
Discord user RinV on Steam Friends review of Hyper Demon says, nobody ever made anything even kind of like this before. Mind-bending genius. And I agree.
Hell yeah.
I agree. It is. I've never seen anything like it, and I feel like I've played a lot of video games. So.
It looks like one of those images that's like I don't know, like AI images is now like a thorny subject, but like it looks like one of those like ones where it's like
the days where it seemed like it would never get to where it is now.
Yeah,
when it was still funny.
But it looks like one of those images where like nothing looks like anything, but like it's still like there's a bunch of shit and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
It's like, what's that fuzzy thing? And it's like, well, it's like nothing, but it's also like it looks like something. And so that's what Hyper Demon looks like to me and stuff. Where I'm just like, what is any of this? And stuff. It rules. But yeah, no, I had in my pocket the sports talk because I was just like. I was because like mainly the only person I've talked about it with is like Brian and I think like Kay in the server and stuff, like just offhandedly or whatever. But like I haven't been able to mention it to you that I've been having my Grizzlies arc and I'm getting powerful right now.
Yeah, go Grizz. I'm definitely going for them this year. Since I want my team to lose. So
right.
Because like the prospect next year, there's this kid, Victor Wembanyama, French kid who the next LeBron or whatever. I don't know. So we need to lose so we can have a chance at getting him.
Yeah, it's really funny. I didn't realize like I had assumed that the NBA was a lot more US centric than it was, I suppose, or I didn't realize we like had players come in from overseas as well until like I found out about like Giannis and stuff, and I think we have like a new kid from Spain on the Grizzlies now, and it's the
most like multinational league, or I shouldn't say that because it's only played in 2 nations in America or in North America, but I mean like more people from different places play in the NBA than it feels like for any of the other ones. And it's, I mean, basketball is the second most popular sport on earth, if I remember correctly. Like it's not the second most popular in America, but it's like really popular other than soccer, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of international players now. There has been for a long time, but it started to grow more and more. And I mean, some of the faces of the league, Giannis is Greek, and like Luka Doncic. I think he's from, I can't remember where he's from, Croatia, I think. No, he's Slovenian.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of like European guys, and obviously just people from, I don't know, just everywhere, really. Just there's just lots of I don't know. It's cool. That's what I love about the sport, honestly. I think it's just the coolest one. You see more people from different places and just amazing athletes. I just like to see people who are good at doing stuff do that thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's really satisfying for me to watch people just like who are good at like building a table, like just watch them do that, you know, or like or you know, throw a ball or play a video game or play music live, you know what I mean? I just like watching people who are good at stuff do it. So sports is very appealing to me for that.
Totally. I totally feel that.
But yeah, hell yeah. I'm glad I got some I've been like dying to have like a basketball podcast, but I don't feel like I have like a anything to offer with that. I think that's pretty well covered by like groups of like white guys talking about basketball, or sports in general. So I don't know. Yeah. I'll talk about the Thunder and the NBA anytime.
But I guess like we've been going for almost like 2 hours now and stuff. You're probably beat and everything. So I suppose that might be like a pretty good place to end things off. But like you are welcome back anytime, and we will talk NBA again. Maybe we'll get you back on like around
listeners.
We'll get you back on around playoff season, and we'll get like heated or something. And be like, God damn it!
Let's do an episode on April 1st where we get you Riff and Brian,
Brian?
and I'm
Yeah.
nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and we just
We
have a
just
sports
upload it and
podcast.
say it's like, finally, here's the tell-all story about Hazel's life, whatever. And then it's all
Oh,
fucking
man.
basketball, because fuck y'all.
That'd be so sick.
Women and sex
I'm
listeners
down.
are great. I'm going to be really curious to see if literally anybody sticks around through this section. Fuck them if they don't, though, honestly.
It's so, yeah, I
we
don't
need
know.
to hide some like secret like cool lore right
Yeah,
here
yeah,
that
yeah,
only
exactly.
like the true believers.
Yeah, like now that we're here, I have to ask about your Blink 182 ska cover band.
Yeah. We've recorded 2 new songs since the album's come out that people will be able to hear at some point.
Oh
Because
shit!
we put the album out 11 months after it was finished, so it seems like, oh wow, you guys it's like, oh, you guys just put that out, so it's kind of weird to have some new stuff. But it's like, actually, it's
Right.
the album's not really new to us. We were working on that stuff as far back as 2019, so
Yeah.
we played one of them live this weekend. So
nice.
Oh,
I think
shit.
there might be some
Nice.
YouTube out there of that, maybe.
Are you gonna put the 2 of them together? It's just like a single and a B-side, or are you working toward another like fuller release?
I will say we're working on other songs that will be on.
Nice.
So let me put it this way: we play another show tomorrow, locally. Again, this is all happening before this episode will come out. But we play another Oklahoma City show, and then we play this fest in Texas this weekend, and then that is all that we are. We're not doing any more shows the rest of the year. We're not playing in anything at least until February, and so we're gonna start in earnest writing the second album, and we already have like 1 song that's like pretty close instrumentally, and then like we have like the skeletons of like 15 songs, and obviously there will be less than 15 tracks on the album.
Definitely.
We're never going to do that many on one.
No.
But then these 2 that I'm talking about are for something else, but I also don't want to say what it's for. But it is like just
Very
2
exciting.
new chat pile songs that we like to write, and I'd like to get back into writing mode instead of business mode, because that's my least favorite mode of art.
Man,
So,
That's it's the bummer. Yeah.
It's nice when it gives us a little extra, money, but mainly it just, feeds itself is kind of how it works, unless you tour 50 days in a row.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to be a road dog to really make it a living. So it's going to be fun after this run is over to just get back into hanging out with my friends, because that's how the band started,
Yeah.
And
Fuck yeah, though.
stuff.
I'm so stoked. I'm so happy to see you guys like, finding some success in it and doing your thing and flying out and playing stuff and everything, and like, it's I don't know, it's a whole lot, but like it rules. Like it makes me happy to see.
Y'all deserve it.
Thank you. And I'm sure we'll definitely play in and around areas near both of y'all.
Yeah, if you ever find your way to the greater Washington area, I'll be there for sure.
I will say sooner than later on that one. So
Hell yeah.
that'll So I'd say we'll go out. This isn't anything I have to hide or anything. I mean, we went out east this year. We're gonna go out west next year.
Fuck yeah.
We since we haven't been out there yet, so it only makes sense.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes.
So
Super.
that'll be cool. And then we also want to do the Southeast at some point. I mean, we want to do everything, but it's like we already did the Midwest. We've kind of done a little bit of the East Coast. I mean, I know we didn't do too many, but it's like we want to hit like all the regions before we do repeats,
Yeah, definitely.
Since we don't get a ton of time to tour, so
yeah,
for sure. Yeah. But fuck.
That's all I got.
It was a fucking pleasure. Like, do you have like, I don't know, like, I guess if anyone didn't know you until coming on here and stuff, do you have like like if you want to plug your Twitter or?
Oh sure.
Whatnot?
I'm at Waluigi on Twitter.
Such a good ad.
Spelled like a Ouija board. So WALOUIJA, and then
there will be a link as well.
And then Luther.manhole on Instagram. I made my Instagram public I just archived all my posts, but if you want to follow me on there, I mainly just bullshit with people on Discord and stuff, but yeah, you can add me if you want. If you want to follow me on Letterboxd, I think I'm what am I? Riff. I'm just Riff with 2 R's at the front, so RRIFF on Letterboxd if you want to talk
Hell
about
yeah.
movies ever. I always like doing that. So that's it though. Oh, and yeah, Chat Pile Band on everything. And if you want us to play in your town, don't DM me. Yeah, I'm sorry. It'll happen or not. So
Yeah, right.
asking me has no bearing. We want to play wherever you live. Yes, we want to play where you live. Hopefully, we can go there if it if
Are there
we
any
don't go
places
broke.
that you actively don't want to play in?
I mean, I can't really say that because I mean Dallas is the worst city on earth, and we play there all the time. So what am I gonna say? What can I possibly say? It's like, oh no, I won't go to this place. Well, that place isn't as bad as Dallas, and we go there all the time. So no, I mean, I guess I don't want to I don't know. I don't want to go play in the middle of, and I don't want to throw any state really under the bus because
nah, yeah.
I'm trying to think though. I want to give something a little spicy to make some people mad, but I don't know.
You're never going to the UK.
No, we'd go. I know we all give them all a hard time. It's so fun to make fun of the British. They all deserve it. All that type of stuff. Exactly, but.
They'll go, but they won't eat the food.
Yeah.
All right,
I would love to go.
We're going to McDonald's.
But yeah, I mean, I guess Lawton, Oklahoma, probably not ever gonna play there. A place that none of your listeners have ever heard of. Pretty much just a military base there. So it is a the third largest city in Oklahoma. So yeah, not playing there.
Someone's gonna comment and be like, "Hey, I'm from Lawton,"
Yeah, they can just come to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I know, you can just drive 20 minutes. But yeah, it was a fucking pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me, all. This is great.
Absolutely.
I always happy to talk into a microphone with people that I like. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks so
much.
Really
glad. All right. Well, that'll do it, right?
Yeah, that's a podcast. Thanks everybody for listening. And I'm gonna stop recording.
Peace.
Woo!